So very happy to be here once again and connect to everyone who is interested in light body and light body meditation. So this is the third intro night that I have done, and it's been very fun every time, and I really appreciate questions when I get questions on the chat, which is up there. I just have to put something in so people can see it. Okay, where to get more information just came up on the chat. So very excited to be working this way and to have a sense of my audience. It's really great if you can go into the chat and say hello and just let me know that that you're out there. That's kind of makes for a more fun evening with questions coming in. And if you haven't done one of these with me before, I have to let you know that there is about a 2-minute delay. So you will be getting this information or the questions answered about 2 minutes after I speak. So just so that you know that. Okay, and also the broadcast will be available on YouTube after it has finished. So if for some reason you have to be somewhere else, then you can also see this later. So, oh, hello out there to Susan. I just got your hello, and to Sandy. Great, happy to see you. Mirza, hi. Okay, so thank you. Now I know who's out there. I can kind of almost see your smiling faces. That's really nice. Okay, so the subject of the evening, of course, is light body meditation and what it is, and tell you a little bit about my own personal experience with it, how I got into it, why it's so important to me in my life, and etc. So, light body meditation is something that I came across almost 20 years ago with my partner, Philip, who is just behind me here, and who is always present when I am teaching and practicing light body, and of course the rest of the time as well, but especially then, because he certainly helps me in my abilities to teach. So up until that time in my life, 20 years ago, when I came across this, I had been doing other forms of meditation. I had done an 8-month Taoist meditation retreat, and of course that had taken a lot of hours of meditation. I had been to India and spent 4 months with Sri Poonjaji, and of course that was more of an Advaita meditation. And I had also done Buddhist meditation and Zen meditation and other forms of meditation. So it was something that was a regular part of my life, and which I felt like I was very adept at. And so it was very surprising to me when I met Philip and some of his friends that I noticed that they had an energy and a radiance about them that I was very intrigued with. And when they talked about meditation, they talked a lot about these certain states of consciousness that they were getting into. And of course, that really intrigued me a lot as well. So I began to borrow some of Philip's, what were cassette tapes at the time, and listen to these meditations, and was able to get into states of consciousness that had otherwise been something that I might get into after a great deal of practice or a retreat, to get into a state, and these weren't states that I was able to access very often at all. And I found with these meditations, which I was borrowing, that I could get into these states on a very regular basis. And that was something that was pretty exciting to me, that that a whole new world was opening up, this, these higher dynamics, these higher planes. And it was all very, you had to know Philip, but it was very Philip. It was very interdimensional and fun and light and bright. And that was great. And so at a certain point, he just said to me, okay, you're really into this, so why don't you just start at the beginning? And so that's what I did. I got the first set, which is the set that I am wanting to guide all of you through, the first 6 volumes, and just started doing them. And I sort of devoured them because I was so into it, and I was spending 3 hours a day meditating at that point in my life. And I loved the states of consciousness that I was getting into, and immediately began to go to the live seminars, which happen twice a year, and found that the live seminars were even more powerful than the tapes that I was doing at the time. Now, the live seminars have been going on for 25 years, so I actually sort of filled the gap and went through all that 5 years catch up. But you don't have to do that. You can go directly from the beginning series, the Awakening the Light Body series, and begin to attend live seminars as well. And those take place twice a year in Medford and are pretty awesome and powerful. So I'll show you the series. If you were to decide to get them in a physical set, you would get something that looks like this, which is a holder for CDs. And so there are 6 volumes, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that one? Sorry. I wonder, that's volume 6. Somehow I put them in here upside down. It's like, wait a minute, that's a little too many. So here we go. This is volume 1. So volume 1 starts you off a little bit more gently. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that's more like it. Sets of CDs, or 4 CDs in here, and each of these CDs has 3 meditations. And so over the period of 1 month, you would be doing this set, although for most of you, this will be a download. I know there are some people out there who already have the physical, purchase the physical sets, but most of you can just getting a download is what everybody does these days. And you will also download what is the book that goes along with this, a little, the physical series is a little book, but otherwise it's a great accompanying book, which you go through step by step on your journey. And so you have 1 of these volumes for each month. And okay, sorry. So there's 4 more. I showed you 1, and then there was that first one. So all in all, there are these 6 volumes. It looks like a lot more when it's not a download. And indeed, that is how everything used to come. Obviously, just a few years ago, we were all just working with this old technology. So the different volumes they all have names. The first one is volume 1, which I showed you, is Building Your Power Base. Volume, let's see. This is Building Your Power Base. It's number 2, Opening Your Heart Center. Love this one. Love that heart center. Actually, I love all of them. And I'm excited to be going over all of them again. There's actually another sort of pre-light body meditations, just sort of the warm-ups, and I'm in touch with the office to see if there's any way that I can give these to folks who sign up, because I consider them to be really wonderful preparatory journeys, and I'd like you all to be able to have those somehow. Number 3, activating your higher energy centers. Number 4, aligning your vibrational energy bodies. Number 5, awakening your light body. Ta-da! And volume 6, which is becoming radiant. So those are the actual volumes that I think it costs. If you want the physical ones, it costs another $100 maybe, or something like that. Most of us, of course, I just have stacks of these things. And I start to wonder what to do with them, since I have everything, of course, downloaded. And so it's not necessary to have these physical volumes anymore. But anyway, those are the physical volumes. And basically it's one of those a month. And my plan is, and what we're going to be doing, is to have a meeting basically before a couple of hour online webcast, something like this one, but a little bit more directed into very specific directions at the very beginning, and then one following each set, and they're going to be on Wednesdays. So these will be Wednesdays, 4 weeks apart. So you're going to work on your volume, and actually work is, they're always incredibly delightful. So you will go through your volume, and then we'll have the online evening. And if you can't make that, they will also be recorded. So you're going to have access, or if you want to go and watch it again, you can do that. And I'm going to have a couple meditations each night. So you're also going to be able to do that, to go and work with that. Now, I'm setting this up so that you are going to be able to ask questions. So as you go through a volume, you may have questions, write them down, and then we'll be able to discuss them after we finish that set on that Wednesday evening. If you're not going to be able to attend, you can also send me those questions, and I will be able to answer that then in the evening, even if you aren't able to attend, and you will get your answer later. So back to, and hello everybody else who's just joined us. So really great to hear other folks who are out there. And if you are out there and you haven't put your name on the chat, please do, because it lets us all know that you are there among us. Okay. So if you look at the journeys in the light body, and sorry about that, up and down, but building your power base, for example, what will you be meditating on? So there are energy centers that will be being awoken. Now, these centers are similar to the chakras, but they are vibrating at a different frequency or on a different plane. So they are a little bit more towards the spiritual energies, and the chakras are a little bit more towards the physical energies. So this is actually a very powerful configuration of energies, of spiritual energy, and the power base is actually coming quite close into the physical, and there's actual physical movement, subtle movements that are part of that. So it connects you right into a set of grounding. So this power base is all about grounding and having a very firm base. It works with the lower part of the body for that first month. And even though you're working with that lower part of the body, sometimes you have very, very high and powerful experiences as a result of that. There are sounds that go along with these energy centers, and so these sounds, you will hear these sounds and they resonate into your system in a certain way that awakens these centers, these energy centers. The energy flows through these centers very much in a way that is similar to the chakras, and if you've done medical Qigong, also very similar to the way that energy flows through the 9 chambers of each of the 3 dantians. And so there's also an energetic pathway to what we call the dantians, which is also happening on a different plane. And the movement of energy through the energy body that you're working with light body is actually more similar to the energetic flow through the dantians, or you could say through the energetic knots of the Indian system of the Granthis. So at the same time that you are working with these energy centers, you're also going to be working with some other meditations that are more to develop your emotional body and what we call emotional fluidity. And so there are emotionally opening meditations that are very powerful that go along with the other opening of the energy centers. Okay, and it actually, one of my favorite journeys on here is at the, it's actually at the very end of the series, and it's called, well, there's 2 of them, and it's called the You Are the Master Journey and Journey to the Temple of the Masters. So it's always great at the end of that first set how you come into those, but you go through this one at a time, and you don't jump to the end. You step through them, and that way it becomes more powerful. You're building up step by step as you get into this. So the whole thing is a journey, a spiritual journey, a journey of spiritual awakening, and it is a pathway into the higher realms, into the higher dimensions. And if you haven't been into these higher dimensions, well, it's kind of hard to describe. It's sort of like describing color to TV to someone who's only ever seen, someone with a black and white world you're trying to describe color to. And very similar if you've been through, for example, the process of medical Qigong, where you start to discover energetic flows and become conscious of the movement of energy. Well, in a very similar way, you become conscious in higher realms. And you grow your consciousness. Your consciousness expands through this work, which sounds maybe a little odd. How can your consciousness expand? But if you've done spiritual work in the past, and I think that most of you out there have certainly done some spiritual work, then you know that your mind becomes larger from the work that you've done, that your mind literally does expand. You do grow your consciousness. And I don't know of a faster way and a more direct way to grow consciousness. And it is about the growth of consciousness. It's not about a belief system. It's not a religion in any way. It is entirely based on your experience. You move into these higher realms and you have your experiences. The energy it is an energy transmission set of meditations, and it is amazing how powerful the energies are in these recorded meditations. They were recorded specifically to go out in time, even though they were actually recorded 25 years ago. The energies were set there to go out into the future. Actually, they set that energy to go out for hundreds of years into the future, and they definitely do hold this very powerful vibration. And you feel that that energy, and it takes you there. And so very different from another kind of a meditation series where it might be a guided meditation, and the person who is guiding the meditation isn't holding and transmitting energy. And so it is very much like, each one of these is like an initiation experience where it actually imbues you with these spiritual energies and lifts you into these spaces. And that's why I do it, because I have found that to be such a remarkable and powerful experience, and I don't know any other place or any other anywhere else to get that experience. Oren and Daben, who are the guides for Sanaya Roman and Dwayne Packer, are amazing guides. Now, more things to show here. I have the channeled books. These are books that have been channeled by, this is, of course, Opening to Channel. Many of you have actually done this with me. So channeling, Sanaya Roman and Dwayne Packer. These are now Oren books. Personal Power Through Awareness by Sanaya Roman. Channeling, and Sanaya's channeling Oren in all of these books. Living with Joy. Spiritual Growth. Creating Money. And Soul Love. So these are all books, these are all actually bestseller books that that Sanaya has written. And she's actually in the process of writing lots more books with her guide, Oren. They're very substantial, powerful books, transformational books. And of course, I would recommend you reading them if you would like to do that as well. They're excellent books. So you discover that you live in a larger universe through this process. You discover that you are a lot more than you thought you were, that you are a lot more than your personality self, and that you can live your life in a different way by being very much connected into these higher worlds. And what it does, it gives you a different perspective on your life. A different, when I say that, well, a different perspective. You go through life with a more sense of spirit. You don't take things as seriously. You have more emotional flow. You be more relaxed. And it's an awesome way to get in touch with why you are here and what you are here to do. your path here in the earth, on the physical plane, physical dimension. So that's important, to have that sense of support. Now, if you channel, you get that kind of support when you do your channeling. The light body takes you into higher planes. The higher planes that you get into with the light body are not planes that you would be channeling from. They are actually often kind of beyond those energies. Eventually you can learn how to transmit from those places and to be able to guide people into those kinds of dimensions. but they are not, they are, I have to say, farther out than the channeling spaces that we have got into if you've done channeling workshops. So in a way you could say more tools for your life, but I would say even more than that, that the light body almost becomes a way of living, a way of being. Now, for me, there have been sort of two very powerful paths in my life. One has been the Qigong and the medical Qigong, and the other one has been the light body. And for me, the two of them are inseparable. That I'm opening this up and sharing this now because it is such an important aspect of what I do and who I am, and my abilities to be able to lead and guide meditations and to be able to work with people individually, one-on-one, to be able to read energies. All of that is very much supported and really comes from my work with the light body. So that's just been very, very, very big for me. I'd like to start to invite questions now. So I'd appreciate if you have a question that you put it out, and I will continue to speak. And then when I see a question coming up, I'm going to read it and start to answer. Now, if you need some other more technical answers about the course, the dates, things like that, please go to the website. It's at the very top of the chat. So if you come in later, you're going to scroll up to the top of the chat and you will see the website. It's going to be just emptymountain.com. I am a few days from launching it. If you go in there, you're going to see, you'll see that it's actually close to being a launched website. But at the moment, it's still on the platform of Yola's site. So it's emptymountain.yolasite.com. And you can actually even go in there and look at all the different levels that I'm doing in how I have set up the seminars. So I might as well just go over that. So I have put it out that if you just want to do this and you don't want to do the online series with me, then you can buy it through me and we can have, you can have a consultation with me along with that. And that is at exactly the same price as you would buy it off of the Oren Daben website. So, so if you buy it through me, then I will just make you one of my students, which then sort of puts you in a different position, which is good that they know that you have been working with me. So you basically, well, you sort of become one of my students. So that is at the first level. It's $4.94, and that of course includes the downloads. And as I said, one consultation. Now, if you want to do the live series and do it with the group, that is $5.94, and that also includes one consultation with me. If you want 3 consultations, then that's another 100. That's at $6.94. And so I think it'd be really fun to have the consultations. If you are, well, you all will get to have at least one consultation if you sign up, and that will be an opportunity for you to tell me about your progress, how you're doing, and for me to see what I can do if there's anything that comes up, anything that feels blocked, and I can help you energetically and otherwise to move through that blockage. The website also, and you can actually purchase that directly on the website, there's also a registration form on there that is extremely important for you to fill out as well, because that is the information that I then pass on to Luminescence, which is the organization of the light body. It's called Luminescence. And then you become registered, and it's when you are registered that you are then able to attend the live seminars. So if you want to be able to attend the live seminars, You need to fill out that registration form for me. Okay, so and then the dates are, as I said, the Wednesdays. It's 4 weeks apart, and I think it starts January 21st, and we'll be running then once every 4 weeks. We'll be getting together. Now, if you have already purchased this set at some point in the past in time, you can also join in, and you can write me individually about that, and I'll let you know what the way is to work with me that way, and that should not be a problem at all. We can still do that, and I'd love to have you participate because I love having questions. Okay, so great. So happy to see everyone out there. So again, I'm going to ask for questions because I know I'm probably just talking and not giving you a moment to contemplate what it is that you don't know. But if you can think of something, or if you'd just like to make a comment, then please add that to the chat. That would be great. So when you sign up for this, or when you begin this, is definitely a commitment to your soul's growth. And there's just a lot of energy that will start to arrange itself in your life. What we have found is that somehow it works for you to be able to do this, that life starts to arrange itself in interesting ways so that you have the time that you need to be able to do the meditations and to be able to participate in this. I plan to offer, well, I will offer this course again in the future. And I also plan to offer the next level of this, which is called Filling in the Frequencies and Radiance Self-Exciting. So that is the next level after this one. And there are a few levels in between which you may or may not choose to do. But you will find that working with all this, there is a constant growth path. There are also a series of Oren meditations that I would also have a lot of fun teaching. So I kind of look forward to teaching this more. So not just the Awakening series. And I would also like to do that not just as an internet teaching, but also it's just really awesome to get to teach some of this live. Philip and I did teach this course a few times through together as well in the past, and that was pretty exciting and delightful. I really loved getting to do that with him, and it's something that he has since then really encouraged me to continue, and so of course he will be along as a part of that. If you channel, of course, this is a fabulous next step for you. If you do medical Qigong, it's also a great next step. And all because it's connecting you more strongly into these higher spiritual realms. So and as you know, if you do medical Qigong, you understand that the spiritual realms are source. They are the causal planes. And so the more consciousness and the more conscious you can be in these spiritual worlds, the more that comes through not only in your work, in your teaching, or in your practice, or maybe your energy work practice, but really in all parts of your life, this energy starts to imbue your life, starts to light up your life in wonderful ways so that you become a more alive person, you become a more radiant person, a radiant being. And I would say that the combination of this with Qigong is really, I'd have to call it a real unbeatable combination, the Qigong giving you this wonderful platform, this wonderful base, energetic base, and the light body then using this base to take off, and the understanding that you have gained and the perspectives that you've gained through doing medical Qigong are, well, you will see that there is nothing here that clashes, that instead they are very much self-supporting, because it's all, once again, based on your own experience. So use your own experience of these energies. Now, in the beginning levels, we come from what we call a radiance platform, and you'll be working in the worlds and the planes of radiance. And if you go to the live seminars or you work with the more recent light body work, it is in the world of resonance. And so some of the ways that it works has changed, and in very powerful ways. So Dwayne Packer and Snea Roman do not ever repeat seminars. They teach always what is fresh, what is new, what the energies are that are coming into the earth plane at a particular time that the teaching is going to be going out. So it's always new and exciting, and because there's a group doing those seminars and holding those energies, if you have an understanding of, say, morphogenetic fields, Rupert Sheldrake, we are creating a field, a resonant field, and those coming afterwards are actually helped to move into these higher frequencies from the work that people like me, who've been doing for a long time, have built up. So we've built up a base. And once again, there's a 2-minute delay, so I'm anticipating that I'd really like some questions here, because I haven't had anybody ask a question yet. So questions really help to make this more of an interactive experience, especially for me. And I know then that I have your attention and you're not checking your email as I'm talking or doing the dishes or something like that. So I know that you're really there and following along. So again, any questions would be great. But back to what I was saying, the latest series, actually the most recent series, is called Your Luminous Body. And that is, you could think of that as being, we have a light body, then we have a luminous body, the light body being more the radiance body, the luminous body being the resonance body. So, so again, more expansion, and very exciting, the work that that we have been doing. Okay. So, thank you, Luke, for a question. Yay! Hi, Luke. So, how many hours per week would we be expecting to dedicate to meditation? So, often these meditations are around 20 minutes. If you do one a day, you know, that's totally going to get you there. You don't need to do more than one of these a day. So that would be maybe 3.5 hours per week. So there's going to be pleasant hours that you're putting in with this. So sometimes you do it when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night. So if you do one, but often what I find is, because I always do these, that I do one, it's like, oh, this is so nice. I don't want to get out of the space. I want to do another one. So I will generally do at least 2 at a time. So they vary in length from, as I said, 20 minutes to half an hour. So somewhere in there, they're not long meditations, and yet because they are transmission meditations, you're going to get a lot out of what is not a huge number of hours. Okay, can you do them in standing posture? I tend to do them personally in sitting posture, but with a very strong sitting posture, a really good erect posture always, or with my feet flat on the floor, one leg back, or cross-legged. But yes, you can also do them in a standing posture. And actually, my guidance for you is that yes, that would be an excellent way for you to do these meditations. So it is good to sometimes to put things together like that. So thank you for your questions, Luke. Anyone else have some questions out there? Please feel free to put them out. And then we are also going to be doing a meditation. So I'd like to have a few more questions to answer before we do the meditation. So I'm putting that out there. Rack your brain. Thank you, Luke, for the feedback. So what might be in your way? So if you're thinking about doing this, but thinking that you're not sure, you can put a question in there. Okay, so here's another question. Would it be too much to take this same time as working on your medical Qigong masters? I would say no, definitely not. It's very, of course, it supports everything that you do. It really depends on, you know, how much time that you have in your life. But it's something that really supports the rest of your life. I've been doing this for 20 years. I always fit it into my life. And so it's just part of my life. So I don't even think about it anymore, about how I'm going to find time for it. And so it doesn't really matter what else I'm doing, because this is sort of like, okay, now I have time to do some of my own meditation after this. It's sort of like if you're used to medical Qigong and doing your Qigong practice, it's sort of the same way. It's sort of like it just becomes part of your life, and it becomes a natural thing that you do. So thank you, Lorna and Tricia. Hey, hello, thank you for being here. Okay, how about how Lightbody integrates into your daily life? So in your daily life, you change your perspective. You take your personality self less seriously. You're not so wrapped up in personality issues, personality questions, and you see things from a different perspective. And so instead of getting isolated perhaps into sort of that whole victim, perpetrator, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm good, you're bad, or I'm bad, you're good, all of those things, you actually can bring that sort of naturally to a higher perspective. So you have that higher perspective on yourself, on people around you. You become more compassionate. I would say that because you're spending all this time in more light, you're also becoming more light. You become light, become more radiant, you become more virtuous. So those virtue energies naturally become a part of your life and your expression in the world. It's one of the simple ways, and you start to look at the energy of things and not just the material aspects of things. So you don't when you get wrapped up in the physicalness of things, like, oh, why won't this happen? I want it to happen. You take yourself a little less seriously, and there's some little other part of you that chuckles and knows, like, well, this is really actually an energetic thing. And you just start to, like, for me, I pay attention to, for example, if I find that I don't have people coming to see me, I don't have a lot of clients at a certain point in time, I know that, this is because I'm supposed to be doing other work with my time. And if someone's late, I know there's a reason for it. I know that they're late because there's something else that's supposed to be happening right then. Instead of thinking that the universe isn't happening the way it should, you start to accept that the universe is happening exactly as it needs to be. And that's just a much more relaxing way to live. How many meditations a day do you do? So if you're talking about me, like I say, if I do one, I generally want to do a second one. And if you count the ones that I do at night, so today I probably have actually done 4 at this point in time. But some of those I fell asleep to. 2 of those I fell asleep to because those are the ones in the night. But I did certainly do the first almost to the end of one of them because I remember, but I don't remember, what happened after that. And then I played another one, and I can only remember sort of halfway through that. So I actually like to, because they're sort of this sense of becoming light. And so as I do them, I like to get into the space and the energy that it holds, and be able to be absorbing those energies, even if I am lying down at night. So another question, Sandy. So you mentioned that you set the energy for this I didn't set the energy for this 25 years ago. That was Oren and Daben, or Dwayne and Sanea, which is when I had the dream. Oh, I met you and Mika. I wonder if there's a connection. That's interesting. That's an interesting connection. So I would contemplate that, Sandy. Yeah. Interesting, because that is certainly when I was learning to fly. So, so maybe that is the connection. Yes, I like that. Okay, so again, back to how many meditations a day. And so I've actually done 4 so far, and I may very likely put another one on later before I go to sleep tonight, because I do like to go that, because it just really puts a great energy for sleeping. So that would mean that probably 5 today if you count the ones that I fall asleep to. It's certainly just very powerful energy. And yeah, it's light. So they are very much filled, they are very much spaces of light that they take you into. And I would call it, for me, it is my spiritual path. A friend of mine, actually a friend of Philip and I's, who is, well, I have a couple of friends who do light body, and at the same time, they are very high-level Buddhist priests, and they can relate all of these energies straight across to levels of or Buddhist planes, so different states of consciousness that are achieved in Buddhist practice. So so I found that actually really quite fascinating, the connection between these meditations, these states, and the, well, the high level of spiritual energy that is there. So, Caroline, I'd like to say I can personally vouch for all the wonderful benefits you speak of. Doing Light Body has enhanced all aspects of my life and has taken my Qigong skills to another level. I highly recommend it. For those of you who don't know Caroline, she is a Master of Medical Qigong graduate and came along to the last seminar, live seminar, Light Body seminar in Medford as well. And so that was great. I know that she got actually really a lot out of her experience there. Okay. So some of the other benefits that you get from this, enhances your ability to what is called manifest. And there are some Light Body meditations and courses that have been about manifesting. And what we're always sort of focusing on with this idea of manifesting is actually manifesting what is your destiny, your purpose of being on the earth plane at this time. So manifesting that, manifesting support in that, and everything that will allow you to be here and really to fulfill your life purpose in that larger sense of what life purpose is and what life purpose means. And also, there is an aspect to it of emotional flow. And so it also helps you to have that sense of well-being and having your emotions sort of move more easily, not get stuck. But when you get into something like a Light Body meditation to help you get out of your stuckness and get back into the flow of your life again. It is a way of taking problems that you are having and taking them up into these higher states of consciousness and looking at them again and then bringing them back into reality with a new perspective so that you can move forward. Actually, doing the webinars actually came from meditation. So at the last live seminar that I was at in Medford, I had been thinking so much about teaching Light Body, but I've only really been thinking about teaching it as a live series. And so I talked to Sine about some sort of questions and issues that I had around that. And we decided that since we really didn't have an answer, that I should just meditate on it and see what the answer would be. And so I did. And at the end of the meditation, I got my answer. It was very clear that I wanted to do this, offer this as a live webcast. And I just saw the energy of that and got very excited about it. And so that's been great to realize that, and then putting this together. So this is actually a way that I problem solved. I was also having problems with my website and was just really in the dumps about I can't get my website together and didn't know what to do about it. And again, I took that into a meditation, and in the meditation, I just saw that it was just going to be fun and joyful and easy. And afterwards, actually, that has happened, and I'm having a blast creating a website right now. So, and it's just been very interesting how well it works to take your issue into these higher energy fields and then let go and allow it to work itself out. And you know, it does work, and these are the kind of energy fields that you need to get into in order to get those to work out. So let's see, do you have any other questions? Great. So Susan, okay, so who are the Buddhist priests you mentioned? I've been trying to phrase a question about the relation of this practice to Buddhist practice. If I knew who they were, I might be able to find my answer. Thanks. Okay, so that's probably something I can do as more of a personally sending you that connection, because well, you could ask, it's Tenji Temple is their website, so it's Tenji Temple. They are Japanese, it's Japanese Buddhism, Japanese Shingon Buddhist priests. And they actually teach, they have Buddhist disciples, and they also teach light body. So those are their two big things. They have a very large following in Japan, several thousand people with the light body practice, and they have a Buddhist temple actually in Fresno, which is actually being built right now, which is for teaching the Buddhist priests. So it's a Buddhist priest teaching temple. So, so that could be your answer, and maybe I can connect you for a conversation there, which would be awesome. I was just there for visiting them for New Year's. So, okay. So, if there are any more questions at this time, I will do a guided meditation. So this will be a meditation with the guides, and just a moment while I'm setting up my music. I don't know whether you'll be able to hear it, but I'll be able to hear it, and that can be helpful. So, microphone I'm adjusting here. Okay. Good, and welcome. And of course, we are quite pleased that you have joined us this evening, or that you have joined us at some time in the future here, visiting this recording to have an experience, to have a taste of what we would call these light body frequencies. Good, and we would have you bring your attention to your breath and to your posture. Noticing the way that the breath moves in and out, letting the breath be smooth and gentle and even. Let it move down in the body, adjusting the diaphragm as you do, to let it be a full and yet natural, relaxed breath. A breath that fills you with energy, a breath of light, a breath of radiance that comes in like the waves of an ocean, with a gentle and yet even rhythm. coming in and out. This movement of life is taking in of the energies all around you, beneath you, and above you, gathering them and releasing. Indeed, like a wind that is blowing in to fill you and flowing back outward. And as you pay attention to your breath, bringing yourself into this present moment, into the flow of energy and consciousness that is here, the flow of light, the flow of life. Profound sense of beingness. As you relax more and more into this, the present moment. And as you do, allowing this present moment to expand, to become longer, for your awareness itself to expand. To be enhanced. Just through the sense of gentle breath and relaxation. Coming more and more into this moment. Gathering your focus here from all of those other places that may be catching it. Drawing those energies back into this moment. Into this place of presence. Into this now. With the breath. Good, and now letting your awareness travel outward smoothly and evenly in all directions. Flowing. Like water outward all around you. In that horizontal plane. Relaxing, expanding. Becoming aware of the energy that is here, that is present in this moment. This movement of energy, a movement of light. That is ever present. And yet is gaining momentum, gaining a velocity, a sense of movement, a sense of traveling on this energy flow, letting yourself be carried smoothly on this energy. Your awareness here on your experience, becoming your experience more and more. As you relax and travel on this flow of energy, this flow of light, letting it take you now upward, feeling that shift to this higher frequency, this higher plane. Experience the beauty and the love and light that is here, that is surrounding you, that is filling you and carrying you. In this dimension, in this plane of vibrant light, this radiant world. Letting yourself relax and feel the love that is here, the light that is here for you. That holds you, that supports you, and allows you to expand your idea of who you are. That you are a part of these higher worlds, these higher dimensions. You are this radiant consciousness. Letting yourself relax in this light. Letting it touch your heart, the heart of your beingness. And as that light touches your heart, feeling your consciousness expand even further. Into a world of even greater light, greater beauty, greater love. Riding these frequencies, and playing now, having fun, enjoying yourself. Sense of freedom and expansion. Of being light. Letting yourself be this light. Floating now on this light, on these energies. Enjoying this sense of freedom. As you journey in these worlds of light. Just riding these waves of energy. This expanded state of consciousness. Good, and then when you're ready, you're going to slowly begin to come back, feeling that energy in your heart as you do. That sense of light, that sense of freedom, that sense of love. Good, as you gently, ever so gently, letting yourself come back. More and more. At the same time, letting yourself keep that sense of aliveness, sense of joy in the meditation. And as you come back, breathing deeply again, taking some deep breaths. Good. And we look forward to joining you in the future. Once again, as we travel to these wonderful worlds of love and light. Thank you. Okay, well, that was a wonderful meditation. At least I had a lot of fun. So I would love to hear your feedback about your experience with that meditation. Seems like the guides wanted to take us on a great ride there. And so since I can't see your spacey smiling faces, it would be great to have you let me know in the chat how your experience was, even if it's just a hot smiley face. It's good to get that feedback so that I know that the energies are transmitting out there. But actually, from my experience, I can tell that they were. So that's great. The guide certainly wanted you to have that experience of moving into those higher worlds. So good. So I know it takes a little while after you have been meditating to kind of pull that together. Seems like Luke had a good time. Thank you, Luke, for sharing that. Wow. That's about right. Smiley faces. Wow. Yeah, that was great. Great energy. Okay, so Kenobi, who is my very favorite Chihuahua acupuncturist ever, is apparently doing well and got into a great space as well and is actually snoring. So you go, Kenobi. Okay, that's great. So I'm glad to hear the healing experience there with my buddy Kenobi. Good. Other feedback and questions. Once again, I would love any questions that you might have about meditation, or if you found that there was any difficulty with the meditation. The meditation will be on YouTube after this, and you should be able to get the link into the meditation, or you can also, if you have a hard time with that, just contact me and I will give you the link into the YouTube meditation. I will probably also be putting it up on the website. Great, thank you for the feedback, Lorna. Great. Yes, and it is different. Light body is a different experience, and certainly when I have all the charge of the guides, and especially Philip, who is on the other side, guiding that meditation and holding the gateway into those higher realms. Well, and for Luke, yes, the website is up, but it's not, it is emptymountain.yola site. If you look at the very top of I will write it in again, and go on there, click on Light Body, and then click on registration. So I'm going to put that down for you again. So that is where you go. And also, if you're on there and you are a student, there is a place for graduates. Also check it out. And also a place for, I think at this point, for feedback. Yes. So testimonials. So that would be great. Okay. So great feedback from Caroline also. Yeah, they took us for a ride there. And so when we do the web classes, we're going to be doing, each time I plan to do 2 different meditations on each one of those webinars. Okay, if you try to go to registration, is that, so Luke, is that under, make sure it's under the light body section. So there should be a top navigation, and then click down to registration. So yes, I appreciate if anybody else is not having that work for them to let me know. So Luke, since I know who you are, you can also just email me to say that you want to register. But if you go to also, there's a tuition page, and that has PayPal on it. So that's actually kind of important too. So make sure that that is also working. So if anybody else can, is able to do that. I know that it works on my computer. Unless that link isn't working. Try it from the pull-down menu. If it's not working on there's two menus, should be two different menus on the page. One that is horizontal. Once you get into the light body section, there should be a horizontal menu plus the pull-down menu. So one of those menus should be able to get you onto that registration page. So let me know. So for me, it's really exciting to be teaching this because I get into an awesome space doing the meditations, teaching the meditation. So actually in this moment, I like to show, since I'm showing half of a thangka behind me, I like to move it up so that you can see the whole thangka, because you're probably wondering, what is that up there? So there's one of my thangkas. One of my thangkas, I actually have a lot of thangkas around the house, but it's actually one of my favorite. That's a series of 3 that I have with sort of the more yantra style. It's actually the Shenrezi. That particular one is the Shenrezi Paradise thangka image. Okay. Okay, so feedback. I get 404, sorry, we can't seem to find that page. Click here to return to the home page. Caroline, I just tried, and here's the message. Okay, so what is the message that you got? Okay, I will go in there myself. I go to Light Body, click on meditation, the top part, and it comes back, HTTP not found, tried. Oh, okay, well, there it is, me trying to put a website together. Actually, it shouldn't be a problem, but I will go there right now. Light Body registration. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go to my I'm going to the site right now, and I should be able to fix it pretty immediately. I got that same message. I don't know where it came from. So, okay, I'm going to fix that, and it'll be fixed in a couple of minutes. I'm going to multitask, apparently, fixing the website and answering questions. But as my other computer here on my lap is loading, please, if you have any other questions, that would be great. And I will try and answer those questions. Okay, I think I need to do this. Okay, I've had an instant fix there. So, okay, I think it's back up again. I've got it coming up on my computer now. So I discovered the problem. Okay, so let me fix my website. No, it's not really similar to Shengang. It's if you look at, if you're familiar at all with Tibetan Buddhist meditation, for example, in Tibetan Buddhist meditation, there's many different kinds of Tibetan, or actually just Buddhist meditations. And there is a path called Dzogchen, which is a very quick path, very direct path. And actually the Tibetan Buddhists who are familiar with this, and there was one, Rinpoche in particular, who looked into these energies, said that if anything, it was the closest in Tibetan Buddhism to the path of Dzogchen, which is also the lightning path, because it is a very direct path into these energies. Great feedback, Susan. I'm so glad that you had a wonderful experience of that. And yes. Great. So yes, so I hope that, Luke, there, that you have also had that whole, the website should all be working just fine now. And do take a minute to explore it. There's a place in there, like I said, for those who have taken the medical Qigong, to put in some information so that I can put you up as graduates and things like that. So, but that's a whole other chat that I will get to. So, everybody out there happily riding the waves of that meditation. Yes, so that's great. So, any other questions out there? We can continue to have a chat going on, or we can round it up early. So, for those of you who want to continue with the chat, you're going to need to send me some questions. Okay, yay, yes, it works the way Caroline just said. Actually, I had to do a little something on the website to just make it work again. So that is why it's working, I think, because mine was saying that not found, and then I did my little something and did a little magic, and it went right back to where it was supposed to be. So yes. So I'm going to wait a few minutes here so that folks can give me some questions. Thank you, Susan, for putting that up. com/registration. Oh. So Susan, are you still getting that 404? That should have gone away. Let me see. I'm going to try it on a different computer. Multiple computers. Hold on, menu. Mine is coming up. If you try just going into and then going to the pull down menu, I think that you will find it there. So try again just on the pull down menu. And actually, I have a form that was submitted being received. So I got that form in from Luke. So great. So we know that the whole thing is actually working, and I am getting those submission forms in. Okay. Great. Good. Okay. So I'm glad that at least somehow we're getting this to work, and hopefully my real website in the next few days will be launched. And for anyone out there, I have to get a little plug-in for this website that I'm using. It has been a blast. If you can imagine creating a website being fun, which is what I had meditated on the last Light Body seminar. And I meditated on the website, and it came up with, yes, you're going to make this website and you're going to have fun doing it. And it was like, I felt the energy of how fun it was to do. And it was like, okay, I feel the energy. I found it energetically, and then basically one day I just sat down and said, okay, I want to find a fun way to build a website. And it came up this yola.com, Y-O-L-A, and I have to say it is an easy and fun way to build a website. So, so I have to put that out. It's just, okay. The pull down works from the light body hum. Great. Good. Anyway, so I will get the bugs worked out because this website is an easy one to work bugs out from. Now, when we do the group thing, where I also want to put up a Facebook page so that as you are working on these meditations together, that you can form a community on Facebook and be able to connect with one another that way as well. I've also heard a little bit about the platform of this webinar that I'm using is actually on Google, what's called the Google Chat page. Google, anyway, you all saw that in the way in Google something. And I think it's a way that, because it's nice to get online and be able to see each other. And you know, you can see me, but I can't see you. And once we get the group going, maybe there's some way we can also get together and do a little bit of chatting among ourselves, or the group can get together and chat about their experiences, which would be, again, really fun. Okay, any other feedback or questions? I'd like some more questions, and hope everybody's found the website and how it works. And like I say, at a certain point, it will not be Yola site anymore, and it will be just emptymountain.com when I actually move it over. So it's like moving day. And so I have moving day coming up when I move the website from where it is now and from the old version, and it will just be this new version. I'd like to have a few of these graduates up there. So if you are a graduate, again, please put that up, and that'll be awesome so that other people can see how that will look when they send their information in. And I'm having both Empty Mountain graduates and IIMQ graduates. So you don't have to be an IIMQ graduate to be able to be on the website. I'll have both options available. Okay, so other questions, or you can also tell me if you're ready to call it a night. We just have a few more minutes anyway, but just thinking that if there's any other questions that I could answer for you, that I would be more than happy to do that. Oh, so I was also going to, Caroline, if you don't mind, I was going to read for people your testimonial, which I actually put up on the website because it was so awesome. So I will read your full testimonial.